nagbabalik ang schoolmates. Nandito pa rin tayo sa Holy Angel University, Pampanga. Okay, pero bago tayo magsimula sa ating mainit na debate, again, reminder lang sa ating mga schoolmates na this episode ay walang kinikilingan kung sino ang tama o mali. Ito isang diskusyon lamang kung saan ating papakinggan ang iba't ibang perspectives ng mga kabataan sa mga napapanong issue ng bayan. Kaya bago tayo magsimula, panoorin muna natin ang ating ground rules ng ating debate.
May dalawang teams na maglalaban, ang Team Pro at Team Con na may tig-3 miyembro. Ang team leaders ang unang sasalang sa laban para sa bawat tanong may 3 rounds o lives. Ang bawat isa na may 30 seconds per speaker per round. Kapag sobrang intense at walang gustong magpatalo, we activate the bonus round. 1 minute and 30 seconds yan na free-flow discussion. Meaning bahala na magsagutan ang magkabilang panig. Pero kung halimbawa hindi na makaribat ang naunang debater, pwede siyang mag-buzz para palitan ng ibang team member. Pero ito ang twist. Bilang mga host, may kapangyarihan kami mag-buzz sa gitna ng laban. Kung medyo off, boring o hindi kami satisfied sa sagot ng sino mang debater, we can buzz you out at papalitan ng ibang team member. Kaya make sure na hindi lang matalino ang sagot nyo. Dapat klaro, direkta at convincing. Bring your best arguments.
Alright, debaters, alam kong handa na kayo kaya simulan na natin ang debate. At mauuna ang ating mga team leaders. First question, college degree for national and local government positions. Dapat ba o hindi dapat? Francine, simulan mo.
A completed college degree is a baseline for competence, and we demand college degrees from every field, wherein teachers, lawyers, and even doctors, because our lives depend on their work. In the same way, an entire nation depends on its leaders, and that is why the affirmative side stands firm with the motion that there shall be a completed college degree for local and national positions.
Thank you, Francine. Shana, go ahead.
Okay, so you mentioned that for other professions, college degrees are required. But are you also aware that for civil service officers or people who work in the government, they are actually not required to have a college degree. You can take the civil service examination without having a required or minimum level of educational attainment. This is because the government is formed by people elected by the people in service for the people. Therefore, when you take a look at democratic inclusion, it actually violates...
Francine, go ahead.
You mentioned that the government is elected by the people. Since the president or the executive branch has the authority to elect or to govern the people, then first, they must have the college degree because even the ordinary citizens are pursuing college degrees.
Okay, but college degrees don't necessarily equate to competence, and they also do not equate to integrity.
Okay, so ang sabi, kahit naman daw may college degree, pwedeng incompetent pa rin daw. Francine, ano masabi mo dyan?
No, let me give you a theory. According to Plato in the Republic, when education fails, democracy collapses. And centuries later, by James MacGregor Burns, he supported that leaders influence because they have vision and integrity, isn't it? So these qualities doesn't appear out of thin air, and there shall be a concrete evidence, which is a college degree, in order for them to govern the nation. I yield my time.
Shana.
But actually, there's a study from political scientists Carnes and Lupu where they say that based on the terms, when they compare the terms from GDP and number of bills passed, that leaders who have college degrees and leaders who don't have college degrees actually do not have a significant difference in their term. So there's statistical and empirical evidence that there's not a necessary or there's no significant evidence supporting your argument that that is enough or that is a accurate measurement for competence.
Isn't it in the Article 14, Section 2 of the 1987 Constitution that they explicitly mandate the state to have free and accessible quality education. And we're talking about education. So in line with that, according to Republic Act 10931, it is they provide the subsidies for local SUCs, wherein since since the state already made the education within
Shana.
everyone's...
Okay, but are you also aware that even with from the Philippine Statistics Authority, there's actually 9.9% of college dropouts who drop out of college who cannot finish college because of financial difficulties. In addition, SUCs, despite yes having free tuition, you also have to consider the other fees like transportation, uniforms, and also requirements from teachers. In addition, there is a growing rise in population according to the PIDS or Philippine Institute of Development Studies that there is a growing population of middle to higher income families, which actually make it harder for people who need the free education to get into SUCs, especially with their selective process.
All right, free flow na tayo. So yung mga impending discussions ngayon is, pwedeng hindi naging accessible kasi sa education, pero may kapasidad naman daw siya para makatakbo. So anong sagot niyo dyan, Francine? Tuloy-tuloy kayo.
Your argument is just that yung education system natin is crumbled. And sino ba yung nasa likod ng education system natin? Hindi ba yung mga government officials? And sino nag-a-appoint sa kanila? Hindi ba yung president and executive? So, given the fact na yung ina-appoint nila sa judiciary branch is also kailangan na may college degree or even bar exams and so on and so forth, kailangan na yung mga taong nag-a-appoint sa kanila, sila mismo dapat merong college degree because bakit mo ibibigay yung wala naman sa'yo? Anong mabubuga mo, hindi ba?
But you also fail to consider the idea of having underserved communities or having Filipinos who actually live through the experience of having underdeveloped institutions give their perspectives and give their say on this. You limit the candidates or the possible people who can stand up and actually raise their concerns in the Senate or in the Legislative House.
This is why we have RA 10931, wherein it provides subsidies for state universities, and there are a lot of scholarships on the government that provides them the financial support in order for them to actually complete education.
But are those subsidies enough? We see that there are still a lot of Filipinos who are still not able to complete college.
Okay, time is up. Thank you so much, Francine and Shana. Palakpakan natin sila. Tawagin natin sila, Jairi and si Frances. So, mainit na tama yan, ang balitaktakan natin, but here's your question. Kung gagawin nating uniformed ang qualifications ng mga national and local government positions, do you think magiging solusyon ito sa problema at suliranin ng ating bansa? Frances.
No, I do not think it is a solution because let's look at the countries where degree requirements are imposed. For example, Pakistan. And the reason why we want a degree requirement in the first place is to prevent corruption, right? But Pakistan, look at it. It is the 106 out of 180 most corrupt country. But look at countries like Finland, Switzerland, Poland. They do not have degree requirements. The reason why they do not have corruption is because they have strong accountability systems. So instead of having a policy that requires college degrees, we should be focusing on stronger accountability systems.
Thank you. Jairi.
Society have already spoken. According to Van Nord et al. 2019, they have seen that voters, educated or not, both preferred educated candidates because they see education as a criteria for competence. This is supported by Baron and Malavad et al. 2015, who said that educated officials are more competent, more disciplined. Hence, the government officials must be competent than the rest because us, the public, this only deserves the best.
Go ahead, Frances.
A study in 2016 called What Good is a College Degree, published by the American Political Science Review, found that actually politicians with a degree actually committed more corruption than politicians who did not. So if your baseline is, if we need a degree to prevent corruption, then why do the politicians who have a degree commit more corruption, commit more strikes than those who do not? We should be looking at their character. For example, if in a situation you did have the knowledge, but you did not have the character to make...
Thank you. Jairi.
First of all, we're not talking about how degrees equate to good governance. We're talking about if it is feasible to become a requirement in our Constitution. And it is already feasible because according to the Structural Functionalism Theorem, as a society, we are are interdependent. We work together. If the lower levels of that society need degrees to work, to have jobs, then why do the higher levels do not require that? Because most of all, they create our society. They set the system up.
Because running for public office is a democratic right while employment is a privilege. The people who choose the leaders of this country, we are the ones who choose it. This is a democracy. If we put the policy that we need a college degree, we are undermining democracy itself. Exclusion is not the solution. As my teammate said earlier, 9.9% of Filipino students drop out to poverty. So even if you argue that public schools are free, what about the miscellaneous fees? In those 9.9% of Filipino students, there could be a capable leader, but was not privileged enough to finish their
Thank you,
studies.
Frances.
And who set that system? And who set that system up? Isn't it the leaders who don't have degrees set that system up? Kasi sila yung nakaupo, sila yung nandoon. So right now, we have the capacity to do what is best para magkaroon tayo ng sistema na nag-agree na may mga competent leaders para yung mga educational sectors natin, competent din sila.
Alright, hold on. Okay, so free flow tayo. Sinabi niya, demokrasya naman eh. Bigyan natin ng option. Let the voters choose kung sinong gusto nila. Go ahead, Jairi.
Okay. Hindi siya elitist. It's practical. Because sabi nga ng kasama ko kanina, Article 14, Section 2 of the 1987 Constitution mandates that the state must provide free access to education. And with that, meron din our Republic Act 10931 na nagbibigay ng college education sa lahat ng tao. So kahit sabihin mo marami nag-drop out dahil sa poverty, nandoon na siya, in-reach natin siya, pero yung mga leaders man natin, nakuha nila yon.
Who set that system up? The same politicians who had a degree requirement years ago. If we really need a degree, then why do the same politicians had a degree? Why is the Philippines not evolving? Why does the Philippines still fall for corruption?
And who set that system up? Bakit marami pa bang corrupt sa atin? Kasi yung requirements natin only to be literate. There's no safeguard na nagdidikta para magkaroon tayo ng good governance.
Why are we using a degree as a baseline or a safeguard? That is not a safe word because even politicians with a degree, they still commit corruptions.
Thank you so much. Palapakan natin, Frances and Jairi. Napakainit. Napakainit ng usapan dito. Grabe kayo, Holy Angel University. Napakahusay. Okay, we have Rafael and Dominic. All right. Question for you. Kung ikaw ay isang presidente, vice president, senator, or kongresista, dapat nga ba na ang mga elected officials na ito ay nakapagtapos ng pag-aaral? Rafael, Dominic, go ahead.
According to CHEN 2016, those who are educated enough to graduate in a higher education has known what is the true meaning of governance. If that's so, Bernali et al. States that those who are educated know what is the true meaning of good governance. If I would run as a president, surely enough, I would finish my college degree first rather than knowing what it is the real meaning of a legal profession inside the government, not just being capable enough to read and write. Dapat kung nasa loob ka ng gobyerno, may utak ka, hindi ka lang mismo.
Thank you.
I-mention mo dapat may alam sila. Kaya nga may SK tayo para matuto sila from the start. Ngayon, bata pa lang sila, natututo na sila kung paano ang sistema natin para alam nila ang ginagawa nila, para alam natin rin. Natututo sila ng ganito. Hindi porket may college degree ka, alam mo na. Pag nag-college degree ka, late ka mag-start, kaya may SK tayo para maaga ka. At ngayon, elected rin sila. Even in the schools, we have elected officers that are not college degree. But guess what? They're doing great. We are doing great. Not everything depends on a college degree. Thank you.
If I know, SK is only for the youth. College degrees are those who are finished and preparing for those who are in a higher level rather than in the minority level in the area of local. I am talking about the national, not only the local level. If that's so, and according to the worldwide, it is also insinuated that even in India, improved infrastructure, Anil et al. Stated that healthcare education has been improved and even improved infrastructure, and aside from that, education has been improved in science-based interventions if a higher education is mandated inside the government.
Dominic.
The SK is not just local. Of course, you'll start somewhere. Not everything goes to the president. Of course, you have to start somewhere low. You start from SK, mayor, congress, or mayor, or president itself. Not everything starts from above. You have to start from somewhere. You start from below. You start from the people. Without the people who don't have education, you will lose perspective. Everyone at top will be on top. Everyone who's at low will be low because there is no perspective if there are requirements of just college education.
Pero anong batayan mo pagdating sa dunong at talino kung wala kang karunungan mismo magpatakbo, kung wala kang college degree? A legal profession that is not just a paper, but a testament that you are ready enough to run in a president, not only in the local, but also in the national area. Yes, you're an SK, but what if a more higher position that is available enough for you to run inside the government itself? Tandaan po natin na hindi lang natin pinag-uusapan ng isang lugar. Pinag-uusapan natin ang bansa at kapakanan ng mga Pilipinong naninirahan dito.
Kaya nga may voting system tayo. Ang tao ang titingin sa mga nagawa ng mga iboboto natin. We vote for them. We know what they do. Kaya may voting system tayo para alam natin kung qualified ba sila o hindi. Masalo pa, nakalagay is completed. Ibig sabihin, pwede pa rin ang mga undergraduate, pwede mga third year law student, pwede mga third year engineering student, hindi sila graduate, pero qualified pa rin sila dahil may natuto sila. At binoboto natin sila dahil may history na sila.
Free flow tayo. Go ahead, Rafael.
Pero appointed officials are being appointed by those who are elected. Nasaan ang karapatan mismo ng elected kung mismo sila walang degree at kung sinong appointed officials ay kailangan ng degree? Nasaan ang batayan ng pagiging isang college graduate na may karunungan at dunong at talino kung wala kang mismo college graduate na nagpapatunay na meron kang talino para magbasa at magsulat ng batas at para mag-promulgate na kung ano ang dapat sa mali?
Kaya nga nagboboto tayo, di ba? Para alam natin, tayong titingin sa kanya kung qualified ba sila. Mas lalo pa, yung mga college educated, meron tayo sa Congress, may criminal record. May criminal record siya, pero nandun siya. May college degree rin siya, pero nandun siya. Binoto pa rin siya, hindi siya qualified. O paano pa kayo mga qualified na mga hindi binoboto? Kaya nga sa current Senate election, may dalawa, tricycle driver at farmer, muntikan na manalo, hindi lang sila nanalo dahil sa power system.
That is why we have a RA 10931 that is stating that we have our own freedom to do our own college graduate. We have our own power to do or to finish to have our own money to follow what is intended in the in respective subsidies to have our own degree.
Kaya nga free, di ba? Kaya nga free tayo. We are a democratic country. Kung gagawin natin business school, kung lalagyan natin yan ng requirement, it's not gonna be free anymore dahil hindi na lahat pwede.
Alright, thank you so much, Rafael and Dominic. Palakpakan natin sila. Tawagin natin pabalik sila Francine and Shana. Okay, so your question for this round is, sa inyong obserbasyon, gaano ba ka-efficient and effective ang serbisyo ng isang government official na may bachelor's degree compared sa mga walang college degree? May diferensya ba yan? Go ahead, Francine or Shana.
Okay, so as I've mentioned before, there are instances of non-college graduates actually authoring bills. So we have, for example, Serge Osmeña III. He also authored 65 bills into law. So when you think about it, it's not necessarily that, oh, you don't have a college degree, you're not competent, or you automatically are not intelligent enough to actually author bills. There's other ways, like honorary degrees. There's other ways to further your education, even without a tertiary education.
Are you aware that even late former Senator Miriam Defensor Santiago also advocated na dapat magkaroon ng college degree yung mga tatakbong politicians natin, and also yung expert na si Francisco Magno, he also advocated na dapat sila magkaroon ng degree. And to give you an example, sa Canada, they have a AAA+ rating, wherein yung AAA+ rating na to, ibig sabihin nun, they have a strong government body. And it's because strong yung education system nila. And while us in the Philippines, hindi strong yung educational system natin.
So that's why we should actually focus on education. That's why we should focus on voters' education, on actually having education be more accessible. Yes, we understand that there's frustration with the current elections, but when you think about it, there's other avenues, there's other methods better than just imposing a restriction to actually fix and resolve the problems rooted in the country.
Francine.
And if you're talking about fixing our education, in the first place, sino ba yung nasa likod ng education system natin? Hindi ba yung mga politicians na nag-govern ng society? And that is why kailangan na sila mismo, bago nila pamunuan yung isang community o isang nation, dapat sila mismo magkaroon sila ng college degree because they set the example. I yield my time.
Shana.
But like I said also earlier, you also have to take into perspective the common people, their perspective and their experiences, because education can still be attained. You can get educated after you're elected. You can continue studies after you're elected. You can continue and there's other avenues and ways to get educated. And so there's also advisors. So it's not necessary that you should have a college degree. In fact, it actually violates and infringes our rights. According to the UN,
Thank you, Shana. Francine.
But are you aware of RA 12124? It's about ETEAP, wherein si President Marcos mismo, siya yung nag-sign ng law na yon. And yung law na yon, kahit na, let's say, nasa marginalized sector ka, pwede ka pa rin makakuha ng college degree kasi nga it's equivalent to a college degree. And in that sense, nabibigyan sila ng opportunity. Hindi natin masasabi na nagkakaroon ng social disparity or anumang reason na hindi dapat.
Thank you, Francine. Okay, we'll now go to free flow. Meron naman daw opportunity sa gobyerno ngayon na makakuha pa rin ng degree kahit hindi nag-undergo sa formal education. Chana, anong sagot mo doon?
But like I said before, okay, so we cannot say that that's accessible to everyone. We are not sure that, actually that law is not being actively proclaimed. Not a lot of people know about that law. What about students or people who are aspiring to do so, who do not have that avenue? They can get educated in other ways, in other forms.
It's because ngayon 2025 pa lang siya napirmahan. And ibig sabihin doon, the system is running, the system is becoming effective. Kasi nga, it is accredited by CHED. And ngayon, napapractice na siya ng iba't ibang institutions. So that just means na hindi porket nasa marginalized sector ka, wala ka ng pag-asa mag-aral. Kasi there are a lot of ways to study. And nasa gobyerno natin mismo na nagbibigay sila ng programs and that counts. And yung ETEAP na yon, that counts as one.
Yes, there's current progress being made. But then again, like you said, because of that, right, there's progress. There's progress being made. And so we can focus on other aspects. We can focus on other methods. Because what you're doing when you impose a college degree requirement is you're limiting the pool of applicants. You're limiting the pool of qualified candidates. So you have our free education now, right? We can focus that. We can see that even
And
now.
that's it. Thank you so much, Francine and Shana. Palakpakan natin sila. And now, we'll proceed to our last round. Meron pang isa, Frances and Jairi. Here we go. Alright. Sa kasalukuyang sistema, amendment sa 1987 Philippine Constitution kung saan nakasaad ang qualification standards sa national and local positions. Sa tingin nyo, dapat na bang amyendahan ito? Napapanahon na nga ba?
Oo, napapanahon na siya dahil meron tayong tinatawag na human capital kung saan ang intrinsic capabilities ng isang tao ay mas nahuhon through institutional channels such as education. And according to Islam and Muhammad 2025, sinasabi niya na kapag na-hone ang capabilities mo na yan, mas nagiging productive ang tao sa society. And with that, mas nag-blossom ang society.
I very much love that those laws who impose free education is not being followed, because look at that, there's also laws that prevent corruption, right? Are those politicians following those laws of corruption? If those politicians are following those laws of corruption, then why is the Philippines still so corrupt? Why is the Philippines still 114 out of 180 the most corrupt country? If we do follow these laws and if these laws are effective, then why is there still corruption?
We're not talking about corruption. We're talking about college degree being a requirement. Yes, college degree is not technically equate to good governance, but they hold a standard. They have a standard so that voters know who they can vote for. Kasi nga, they view education as a criteria for competence.
That's why instead of imposing a policy that we should have college degree, we should be having a stronger accountability system and voters' education. Let's take, for example, popularity contest. Even if a candidate who is popular runs for government but still has a degree, their fame will still their fame will still take over. Because a degree does not matter. A degree does not matter if your character is flawed. If you do have the knowledge to grasp the situation, the question at the end of the day is, will you make the right decision to benefit yourself or the government of the Philippines Philippines or the Filipinos themselves or the Filipinos themselves and the country itself.
Thank you. Jairi.
We're a democratic nation. It's in the people's hands kung sino iboboto nila. At kapag meron college degree yung mga bumoboto, binibigyan natin sila ng opportunity para tignan kung anong kung anong mga kakayahan nila. And meron din tayong ETIP app or yung Extended Tertiary Education Equivalency and accreditee program kung saan 5 years ng experience sa kahit saang field, nagiging college education siya. So marami tayong provision sa ating batas na nagbibigay ng access to college degrees ang mga tao. So hindi siya elitist. Possible siya kasi nandun na yung mga yun. Kailangan lang natin i-improve yung system sa'yo.
So are you saying that every politician who runs for the government that has a degree won't commit corruption? And what about those Filipinos who didn't have the privilege to finish education? What if one among them is a capable leader and they just didn't have the privilege to finish their studies? Then what do we do about them? Do we just become elitist and we undermine democracy? Because democracy is about choosing the leader that we want to represent us.
Okay, on that note, we'll now open our last free flow. Ang nakapending na argument ngayon is paano nga naman daw yung mga kababayan natin na pwedeng maging leader in the future pero hindi nabigyan ng oportunidad na makapag-aral. Jairi and Frances, go ahead.
First of all, ulit-ulit kong sinasabi, hindi natin pinag-uusapan ng corruption. Pinag-uusapan natin kung kailangan ba maging requirement ng college degree. Eh, mga provisions na tayo doon, hindi siya elitist. Possible siya kasi maraming laws, maraming provisions na nagbibigay ng opportunity sa marginalized na makapag-aral. At kung gusto mo talaga makapag-aral, you're willing to do anything to get a degree.
Well, what is your proof that laws are effective? The same laws what are your proof that those education laws are effective? What is your evidence that is actually helping the marginalized section?
Eh, sino ba nag-i-implement ng mga yon? Kasi it's within our system. Nasa system natin. Kung sino yung mga nakaupo, sila gumagawa ng system. And if sila nakaupo, hindi nila alam anong gagawin nila, paano na tayo?
Well, it's not like every politician who has a degree did the right thing. It's not like every politician who went to school, had a doctorate, had a master's, did the right thing. So even if you say that like we should be setting an example for the ordinary citizen, it's not completely concrete because at the end of the day, if you look at Philippine history and its history on politics, most of us had a degree.
Ka ba kung wala kang degree? Mabubuhay ka ba kung wala kang degree? Yes, for some mabubuhay sila, but it's a standard now. It's a silent standard. And kung mga countries, ngayon yung mga first world countries, sinitingnan nila yung degree as a sign of success, bakit hindi natin sila sundan?
Because as I said earlier, running for office is a democratic right. It is not an employment. Anyone who wants to lead the Filipinos to be a better country, because we are not right now, should have the right to do so.
Position,
if they actually have...
Sila yung gumagawa ng batas.
Alright, thank you so much! Palakpakan natin Frances and Jairi. Napakaganda ng debate na to. Maraming salamat sa ating mga debaters. Again, from Holy Angel University. Palakpakan niyo mga sarili niyo. Napakahusay. Pero schoolmates, hindi pa dito nagtatapos ang lahat dahil sa aming pagbabalik ay ating mapapakinggan naman ang huling statements ng ating mga debaters at kung sino ang tatanghaling best speakers. Dito lang yan sa pagbabalik ng Schoolmates!